All right, so we're gonna move on to the group by. So again, you have to click to download. Click download. You're gonna download to your computer. Then you're gonna go to Colab and you're gonna do file upload notebook. You're gonna choose you're gonna find your file where you saved it and you're gonna upload it, and then you're gonna be able to work on it. Okay, so we're gonna move on to group by. And so group by method allows you to group rows of data together and call an aggregate function. So what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to group different rows into a single data frame. Right? So what we're going to do first is import pandas as PD again. This is not a rule, but it's a common procedure that most people do. We're going to create this data. So I'm going to have this company. So, sorry, company. And I'm creating this dictionary. And I'm going to have Google. And then Microsoft MSFT. Let's call it MSFT. And then MS. I'm going to keep it consistent. MST. So that is, and then we have Facebook. And then we person. And then we're gonna have Sam, Charlie, Amy, Vanessa, Carl, and Sarah. So that is another item in my dictionary, comma. And then we're gonna have sales. If I know how to spell sales. And then we're gonna have 200, 120, 340, 124, 243, 350. So I have created a dictionary here that we're gonna turn into, oh, too many sessions. Okay, I'm just gonna close this one. All right. All right, so I terminated the other one, so now we're gonna continue. So if you can see, we're gonna turn this into a data frame. So we're gonna use pd dot data frame, and then we're gonna pass in our data. So we're gonna turn this data, this dictionary, into a data frame. And now we're gonna see what we have. As you can see here, we have 3 columns. So each one made a series, right? Each one is a series, right? You can see sharing the same, in this case, index label, which is 0 all the way to 5. And notice that they have something in common, right? We have Google, Microsoft, right? A couple people working for the same company. So what we can do is we can organize, we can group these guys together, the Googles together. We can group the Microsoft together to be one single data, and then we can group the Facebooks together to be a single data. And that's what the power of group by can do. So, but that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna group them by the company. Group by the company. And as you can see, this is a type object data frame group by. So you can see what kind of data type this is. Now let's actually save it into a variable so we can actually work with it. So we're gonna have df.group by, and we're gonna have company. So right now what I have is I created this new data frame that is going to group my information based on the on the different names of the company. So I'm going to create a different data frame that is index label will be the company. So practically I'm saying I want them to be grouped by everything that they have in common. Wherever they have the same values, that will be my index label practically. So if I run my we can see what data type this is, right? But let's actually give them a value. How do we want to group those values? So we're gonna group them, but we haven't grouped them yet. By what value are we gonna assign to it? So by doing mean, what we're doing here is we're assigning the mean value of the sales for Google, the mean value for Microsoft, and the mean value for Facebook. So we created this new data frame that uses the company as the as a label index, and my new column, my only column is sales. Okay. I could have done this with a single line, so that could have been df group by company dot mean, and that would have done the same thing. So I could have done it with one single line. All right. We can also do standard deviation. So I can do the group by using their standard deviation. So I can group them by the company's name by using the standard deviation as their value for the sales. Or I can do it by the minimum. And in this case, it's gonna display who has the minimum, right? So we can display in Facebook who has the minimum value of sale, who has the list number of sales. So that's kind of cool, right? And then we can also do max. And this is the power of data frames in Numpy, Pandas and Numpy, that it gives you all these tools that can do the work for you already. You don't have to invent the wheel. You don't have to do a while loop to be able to do this. Or a for loop to be able to find those values, which makes it really, really convenient. And that's probably one of the things that you want to take from it. Here they're counting how many values of each does each one have. And one of the most powerful tools that you can have is what we call describe. Describe will give you practically a general idea of information about your data. As you can see here, you can see what the count is, what the mean is, what the standard deviation, the min, the 25%, the 50% people, how many 50% have that value, 75%, and the max value. So this describe gives you a general concept of all the values, the most important values that you're probably gonna look for, and this is useful for determining which values are might have some, are important, like which ones would be more important to focus on in correlation, maybe. So in general, it just gives you a good idea of what information do you have about your data. And let's do the same one, but let's use transpose. Oops, I'm gonna take this off. So here's another way, a little if we want to see it in a different angle, where the labels Facebook, Google, and Microsoft are in the top. So you can see it like that. That's another way of seeing your information. Whichever you prefer, you can just do a transpose, which is a reflection on the y-axis. And we can specifically look for a column value by doing describe. Then we can do transpose if we want to keep it on the same angle. And specifically saying what column do we want to do. As you can see, we're able to see everything about the Google. If we can remove this transpose. Oops. We would have to do this instead. Not found. Yeah, so that seems like the only way to do it, to get the information about Google, will be just to do describe transpose. Yes, I know, I see why. And then Google. Describe. Oops. There you go. So this is all information about Google. Maybe we can even do another transpose here.